have goals to succeed in life. If someone asked Edmund Hillary, how did you end up on top of Mount Everest? And he answered, I was wandering around in the Himalayas and accidentally happened to be on top of Mount Everest. Would you believe him?
No.
No. Would you believe if Vishwanathan Anand said that he could be on top of the chess world by just playing chess? Or for that matter, if Narayan Murthy had assembled a bunch of programmers and asked them to start programming without having a vision? So, having agreed, those masters and guests, that goals are important for us in our lives, let me try to understand how many of us in the audience here today have a goal. Please raise your hands. I see many of them going up. That's very good to happen. Contrastingly, in the University of Yale in 1992, they had done a survey with the students who were passing out. And what they found was extremely interesting. 2% of the students had goals, while the majority, 98%, did not have. And those masters and guests, believe it, they tried to do a similar survey 10 years down the line, a decade later, with the same set of students who had passed out. And these 2% were at the top of the organizations, wherever they were. So, what that means, goals help us achieve success, whatever we set ourselves up for. Having said that, let us try to understand in this discussion 3 points. Why do we then not set goals? I did see a few of the hands not going up. Why do we not set goals? And then, how these goals should be. And thirdly, why do we abandon them once we have set them? So let's start with the first one that I talked about. Why do we not set them up in the first place? When I wanted to set up my goals for the first time, the first impression, the first effect that I had within myself was fear. It was false evidence appearing real. My mind was looking at some incorrect facts and thinking them to be real, and then not letting me set those goals right. The second reason, friends, was that no one sold me those goals. I had to define them for myself. No, we are living in the age of advertisements where everything is being sold to us. No one sells goals to us. We have to define them for ourselves. And that was the second aspect. The third aspect was my confusion between activities and accomplishments. I was busy doing so many small things in life and saying, yes, I have achieved what I had to achieve. But what I was missing was the bigger picture, how all these activities together made a larger goal which I had to decide beforehand, which I didn't. What it meant was to have the goals rightly set. So having said that we should have the right goals, how should these goals be? To explain a little further on that, let me relate a story. Guru Dronacharya once decided to have an archery test. Many of you might have already heard this story. Between the Kauravas and Pandavas. He hung a bird from a tree and then called one by one all his pupils to take aim at the bird. He first asked them a question. So what do you see? Each of his pupils answered it in different ways. Someone answered the tree, someone answered, oh, it was the sky, someone answered everyone, someone answered guru, someone answered bird. He asked all of them to stand aside. Finally, it was the turn of Arjuna, his favorite. And he asked him the same question. And what did he answer? the bird's eye. And believe it or not, when he said shoot, Arjuna hit the bird's eye. What does this story relate to us? That our goals have to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and then time bound. So these smart goals will help us achieve what we want to achieve. Having understood that the goals have to be smart, the next aspect of the whole story is, why do we abandon them once we have set them? I remember the story of my father. I remember the incident with my father when he had to every time start the scooter several times in the morning. It is just the start of trouble, my friends. The initial hiccups all of us face. It was the same with me when I joined Toastmasters. The first time, the second time, there was always the fear of coming here and talking. But ultimately, I did overcome it. The other aspect is motivation, as I had already mentioned. Nobody sells it, there are no rewards, there is no one pushing it at us. What is important is we persist with these goals, even in those adverse circumstances. To summarize, dear friends and Toastmasters, there are three things that we discussed. One was we have to eliminate our fear, the false evidence appearing real. Two, buy into having smart goals. Thanks for the audience for helping me elaborate on that. It was nothing new. The third thing, which is equally important, is that we jot them down. Note these smart goals and make sure we are meeting them. For the palest of memory is better than the brightest of. The palest of ink is better than the brightest of memory. To conclude, Toastmasters and guests, how many of you who already have the goals would revisit them today before you go to bed tonight? Can you raise your hands? Happy to see that. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies.